Hey everybody, it's Peter with the Chabris Group here in Cincinnati, and today I want to talk about making $1 million investing in real estate. And yes, I'm saying that because it's a catchy phrase. But the reality is that wealth can be built in real estate, and a lot of wealth can be built relatively quickly with the power of leverage. And I want to just introduce the concept of how to build wealth in real estate. There's two ways traditionally to build wealth in real estate, and there's been kind of the advent of a third over the past 10 years or so. I just want to unpack those really quickly to help you get thinking about investing in real estate, especially if you've been saving money and kind of building up that war chest to make your first step into the world of real estate investment and wealth building. Here's kind of a primer on how to think about what your investment options look like. The first one is the traditional one, and that's the hold strategy. And that is where you buy real estate and you don't sell it. You keep it and you rent it out, and over time, the magic of real estate starts to generate wealth for you, right? And there's a variety of ways that happens, which is probably a separate conversation. That's the traditional way, whether it's buying a house, buying an apartment building, buying an office building, whatever the case may be. Usually you stick with residential because it's more familiar to us since we all own a home or rent a home. But you usually start with something in the residential space, buy it, hold it, and lease it to somebody and capitalize on all the financial benefits there. The second one is the flip strategy, and that is where you buy a distressed asset, typically a residential asset, again, because it's more accessible, it's easier. You purchase that asset, you improve it, and then you go and you sell it immediately thereafter on the market and make a profit, right? So the hold strategy is a long-term wealth building strategy. That flip strategy is usually anywhere from 3 to maybe 9 months. Usually it's like a 3 to 6 month process. And you do that because you can go in with your money, make some improvements, so it's going to be more time intensive and capital intensive. But then you get to sell the property immediately thereafter, get your cash out plus profit. And so a lot of investors that are interested in the hold strategy, the longer term wealth building strategy, kind of a timeless proven wealth building strategy, they'll do flips in the short term, and they do the flips to increase the size of their war chest, right? The amount of capital they can deploy so that they can put money down on longer term wealth building assets under the hold category. So those are kind of the two ways we've consulted with our clients about building wealth in real estate until the internet came along, got more advanced, and things like Airbnb and VRBO hit the market. And this is kind of a third prong approach towards building wealth in real estate. And the idea of these short-term rentals is that it is the hold strategy, right? You're buying an asset, you're holding it, but you're renting it for short term, sometimes as short as one night. The benefit, the upside here is that when you hold it for the when you're doing short-term rentals, you can charge a lot more per night. There is more capital involved in getting the property ready to be leased and including things like knickknacks and furniture. It's much more management intensive. Whether you hire a manager, and they're much more expensive than a traditional property manager, or whether you're doing it yourself. And so just recognize it is a lot more of an intensive process. However, the potential upside for your hold strategy is greater. You just have to be in to win and be an active manager or play a more active role in managing the management, because the management has a much more robust scope of work that it needs to do to manage your asset for you. So these are the three strategies. If you're interested in the short-term strategy, make sure that when you buy that property, it will at least break even if you have to put in a lower price, long-term, like 12-month tenant in there. So you're not at a place where you're compromised financially if the dynamics around that short-term rental change. So that's the scoop. We've got the hold strategy, the flip strategy, and then this kind of new strategy, which is the short-term rental strategy. All of them work depending on what your financial goals are, both in the short term and the long term. Obviously, the right next step is to talk to me or your agent here at the Chabris Group. We can do kind of a deep dive on what your financial goals are and kind of equip you with the opportunities in today's market to start that wealth building journey. Thanks, guys.